Welcome once again to Final Drive TV. This weekend we're at Thunderhill Raceway in Willows, California for round 2 of the Nitto Tire United States Touring Car Championship. Joining me in the booth, Rick Nanini.
Pleasure to be here today. We have a great show. Jeff and Jennifer are waiting for us downstairs. Let's see what they're up to.
Welcome back to round 2 of the Nitto Tire U.S. Touring Car Championship. We're here at lovely Thunderhill, up almost in Redding, California. I'm back here with my co-host Jeff Lepper. Jeff is taking a brief break from his DJing duties in order to join us here at the racetrack. Jeff, it's getting hotter by the minute.
Yeah, tell me what's wonderful. You said wonderful, Thunderhill. I don't know what's wonderful.
It's beautiful. I mean,
beautiful.
The
Beautiful
grass
is what you
has
meant to
not
say.
yet died off. We
Yeah.
do not yet have our lovely California golden grass. The hills are still green. There's a light breeze, and there are race cars.
Well, 4 weeks from now, it'll be gray or brown or dead grass.
California golden grass, absolutely.
California golden grass
Yes.
is what we call it. No, it is a lovely day out. It's a little bit warm, kind of a small breeze, but not a huge breeze. We got a couple storylines developing here already on Saturday morning, and this is already morning and it's already this hot, so I'm going to have to wait and see what happens after qualifying on Sunday, but we're praying for rain.
I don't think we're going to get lucky and have a rain race like maybe Malaysia would. But, Jeff, we've got all sorts of excitement happening. We've got a great showdown between Dodge and Mazda. We've got some new sponsors coming into the series, really supporting the effort here at Nitto Tire U.S. Touring Car Championship. Tell us about the new sponsors.
Well, the biggest one that we had today, signed in round number 2, is Optima Batteries. Top 3 finishers are going to get a battery.
That's nice to have.
I don't know what kind of battery they're talking about. I mean,
race car batteries?
I would
Sometimes they
assume
use
it's
a
a
lot
race
of-
car battery, but wouldn't it be cool? Like you can say, I need a battery for my radio for my car.
When I had a Miata, they had the smallest battery I think I've ever seen for a car, and it goes in the trunk.
You know, batteries are the only thing men brag about who has the smallest.
Really?
Yeah, I heard that. That's
Well,
pretty
you know, it can
good
make a
rumor.
big
I heard
difference to the race car, the size of the battery, how heavy it is. So having
It
a
is.
battery sponsor
That's
is a real
awesome to have
value
Optima
add.
come in like that, and then for that big of an endorsement for the racers too.
Absolutely.
I mean, the top 3 guys. So you finish on the podium, you're going to get a battery. That is just huge and awesome. That really is for them. That's really great for those guys. That's awesome for them to join the series. It's great for the racers. It just adds to the pot. You know, we got GoPro cameras, Duplicolor, the STRI gauges now, AEM, another big series supporter.
Don't
So it
forget
just
my
adds up.
favorite, Mother's Wax.
Mother's Wax, that's for sure. Mother's Car Polish stepping up this year.
Absolutely.
All those cars. I don't think there's one dirty car in the field. Of course,
I don't
Mother's
think
giving
so.
away care packages to every race. Plus, they got the Mother's product at the end for one racer there for the clean move. I mean, Mother's is really stepping up as well. So another great addition to the U.S. Touring Car.
And I think if adding a sticker adds 5 horsepower, that a clean, shiny car should add at least 10.
At least 10, yeah. They
At
polish
least.
the space shuttle, so we can polish race cars too.
Absolutely. So who have we got racing today?
Well, Ken Dobson is back, winner of round number 1. He's back with his Mazda 3. They've had a couple more extra weeks now to get that car developed. Remember, it only had 54 miles on it the first race.
Right.
So I'm sure they got that car developed a little bit more. We have the other Mazda Speed 3, but that's going to be driven by Felipe Vargas this weekend.
Really?
So he's going to be running that car as a teammate. So we'll have to see how that car is going to perform. Pete Bovenberg's back, but now he's in his original Honda Civic that he ran last year that he won with, again after a 4-year drought. So he's back with the Civic with Andre Hartanto, the championship's winner last year's motor.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah, it's a lot more than that. Then we got Curt Simmons, of course.
Of
He's
course.
old, reliable in the Dodge SRT4.
And fast. He was very fast last time.
2009 Series champion Tom Lepper is actually in Virginia International Raceway
On Saturday.
today.
Right.
And he's talking about trying to find a flight out at night after his race there to come here and race. So he's going to try to race on both coasts in one weekend.
Thank you, Jennifer and Jeff, for the great updates on the cars, the drivers, and the sponsors.
Boy, those Jeff and Jennifer really know how to get to all the little juicy stories and everything. I don't know how they find out this stuff. They must just follow these guys all over the place.
They're not stuck in the booth like we are.
Yeah, I know. They actually get some air. Well, I have some news for you. We have a special guest host today. Somebody that we know somewhat well. Surprise for everybody. I'll let Jeff tell you who it is.
I'm anxious to hear this.
It's going to be good.
Thanks, guys. Well, like we said before, in the Saturday morning, it's now Sunday afternoon. Qualifying's all done. We do have a guest host. This is driver of the Le Mans Karting BTM Motorworks BMW from the 2009 championship, second place First loser, Andy Chittum.
Consummate second place.
Yeah, consummate second place, yes. You set the record for second places in U.S. Touring Car, that's for sure. But yeah, we do have a guest host. Your lovely wife, my co-host Jennifer Grossman, is taking a break behind the scenes now. She's getting the camera work ready, it looks like. So what do you think about this weekend so far? And actually, what do you think about not even being behind the wheel, man?
Well, I think probably the most ideal situation might be to be behind the wheel and still be able to speak on camera as well. It's, of course, a lot of fun doing both of them, but, diehard racer, it would be most fun to actually be out there with them all.
Now, is there anything in the pipeline for you, such as building a car or getting another car ready, or maybe unretiring the second-place car and trying for a win?
Yeah, we're actually looking at putting together a new car. There's a ton of different options right now, given there are a lot of other teams and a lot of other series that have extras. There's, a U.S. Touring Car is so fantastic because you can pretty much take almost anything, almost anything. And the technical crew at with UST is fantastic at working with you, saying, okay, well, this is a good car, suspension's a little bit aggressive, let's have a little bit less of motor, and work it out. So it came up last year. I think we had the BTM Motorworks car and Andre Hartanto's TSX were seconds apart from each other at the end of each race. And qualifying, I think we had a qualifying that was like 1,000th off or something like that.
Yeah,
so
it was a pretty good event.
Even though those are two completely different cars, they came together, and that's the UST technical crew doing a great job.
Well, I'm glad to have you here. Sad you're not behind a wheel. But yeah, just like you said, 1,000th off. We did have a pretty close qualifying session as well. Of course, taking a pole again was round number 1 winner Ken Dobson and his Mazda Speed Mazda 3 Mazda. I guess there's a lot of Mazdas in there. Ken Dobson taking the pole again, but a little over a second, so 1.2 seconds ahead of second place. That's our brand new Mr. Felipe Vargas running the other Mazda Speed 3. So we got an all Mazda front row. So looks like Mazda might be the car for you to get.
Yeah, that looks like they're really stepping up right now, and that's Mazda has some great contingency for U.S. Touring Car, and they do excellent support for racers of all sorts. So that's fantastic that they're showing really well in U.S. Touring Car these days.
Running in qualifying in the third spot now, that's going to be Pete Bovenberg, who's got last year's motor out of Andre Hartanto's car. Still getting the computer dialed on that car. He had a really good qualifying session yesterday. Comes out today, not so much. And, of course, because the U.S. Touring Car rules gotten changed last year, the combined times from Saturday and Sunday, and whoever has the best time. So Felipe Vargas actually ended up being about 0.2 of a second slower than Pete, or faster than Pete. So that got him to start third. Of course, Pete got the third spot, so Pete's loving the inside there. And then Curt Simmons actually blew up his motor in the practice session Saturday.
Right.
Had to go all the way back to Sunnyvale, which is about a 2.5-hour drive from here. Hauling, but it's a 2.5-hour drive. Pick up a motor, get it back here, found out that motor dropped a valve.
Oh.
So now he's using the best pieces out of both motors. But the race is still 5 hours away, so we got time to get it done. We'll have to see if that crew, they got the crew chief of the race award last year, won a great Miller welder for his crew chief. We'll have to see if they can get that car ready. I'm sure if anybody can do it, that crew can.
Yeah, I think I recall back in 2007 where Curt had some similar problems. I think it was actually here at Thunderhill where he had some severe front-end damage to the car during practice, and that team really pulls together and puts a good car even under the worst of circumstances. So if he can get out there, then he'll definitely come storming through the field because he is a fast off the line, and he likes this track.
Well, Andy's prediction is right. Curt did make the grid. So let's take a look at that starting grid right now. Ken Dobson in position number 1, driving the FLI tuning Mazda Speed 3.
In the P2, we have the Valtierra Cabezas team in the TNI Racing Mazda Speed 3.
Position 3, Pete Bovenberg in the MBO Racing Honda Civic.
Followed by Larry Benny in the B&K Motoring Honda Civic.
Position number 5 is Curt Simmons in the Stevens Creek Dodge SRT4. Now he has a rebuilt engine. It's untested. They drove it around the pits, but it hasn't been on course. So we're going to watch him.
They rebuilt this engine in the paddock, and they just drove it around a little bit in the paddock. But it's one thing if the car starts and runs at 5 miles an hour. Let's see what happens when you floor it to 7,000 RPM. So anyway, we'll see how it goes, but you should keep your eyes on Curt Simmons. I think he'll charge through the field as he usually does. But rounding out the top 6, we have Navid Kahangi, who's right behind Curt Simmons in the Track Concierge BMW M3, that new orange-colored M3 that's also promising to be very fast. So we'll see how it goes out there.
Let's go.
Now in front of all these cars, we have the great new pace car for 2010, the Kia Soul Sport, that's provided by the Kia USA.
Very nicely detailed car, I have to say. Beautiful out there in front of the pack of cars.
It's a gorgeous car. I love the way it's tricked out, and it drives so well.
You talk like you've driven it on the course.
I might have snuck it out a couple of times. It is such a sweet handling car.
Research, right? Just research to see how.
Well, I have to, it's part of the job. You have to. You can't just talk about something that you don't know anything about. You need to go test drive it.
So tell us how it handles the track.
It is, that car has better steering than most $50,000 German cars. The steering just tells you everything the front end of that car is doing. It's so easy to drive fast. It's not super fast. It only has about 150 horsepower, but it is handling of that car is fantastic, and it's so comfortable to drive at speed, and it's just a blast. I love that thing.
So as the driver of the car, maybe you're going to get out in a couple of the pace laps. You're going to be hoping for a couple of yellow laps there, so you've got to get it back out.
Well, I can tell you that driving that thing is so much fun, and it's got this kicking stereo, and not that
that doesn't sound like business here.
It's got TVs everywhere, and it's a lot of fun. But anyway, getting back to business here.
There it is. Yeah.
We'll hopefully we'll have a good standing start here, and it's always exciting with these standing starts. But with two super fast Mazdas, high horsepower Mazdas up front, it's going to be a pretty interesting start, I think.
With the Mazdas up front, we're going to watch Curt Simmons in the story, see how that engine's doing, and then, as you said, Navid a little bit behind Curt right now. What's that BMW going to do?
Well, that thing, the BMW is going to launch well. We've seen this from last year from Andy Chittum. BMWs can launch well because we have a pack of front-wheel drive cars with the one rear drive BMW there. So that's going to be really cool.
Okay, well, we've got the start coming on here, so let's take a look. Maybe turn up that speaker and listen to this start.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes here. But boy, those two Mazdas next to each other, each of them is packing 200.
There we go.
Oh, there
start.
And just like we thought, the Mazdas just take off with that turbocharged horsepower. But look at them go. But I don't think it's going to be easy to beat Ken Dobson here with that inside line through turn one.
Well, he certainly did own turn one.
Look at Curt Simmons go! Curt Simmons almost took out his teammate. He was just so flying fast out of the start. Pete looks like he stalled it a little bit, didn't get a good start, and Curt tries to pass it, but knowing that he's got the boss up front, you don't want to hit the boss and upset him.
And upset the him. That's right.
So
let's take a look at it from the inside of Kurt's car.
Look at him. He gets a great launch. I guess the motor's running good. Tries to go inside Pete.
I see it.
And Pete just shuts the door. And Curt says, "Okay, boss, I'll back up. I'll get you later."
I just worked on this car. Maybe I should get a lap or two in, right?
Yeah, really. Yeah. Let's see how the motor's running before we do this.
Here's got position 1 and 2. We've got Ken Dobson in the first place, and following it is the
Cabezas, who's got sideways. That thing. I've been watching that car at a lot of the places. At turn-in, it's got a really tendency to oversteer at turn-in, and we saw it there at turn 3. The thing looks like he's got a really nervous handling on this car. I think the way he's got it set up to turn is that at turn-in, it rotates on him, but it looks like it rotates a little too much. But we'll see. But as we saw, the BMW has got a great launch. He's up there with these guys, and it's now past Larry Banny in that Civic. But Dobson is just taking command of this race right now.
He absolutely has. He certainly's got the lead there. Although if you take a look at this, Bovenberg is right on the back of that second Mazda, so that should be interesting.
Yeah, Bovenberg's going to be very fast, but Simmons is not that far behind, and he's charging. It's so funny because there's some races Simmons is faster than Bovenberg, others Bovenberg's faster than Simmons, but here Pete is just on it, and he's just on that Mazda speed 3 there, and he just wants to get by.
Now this is where it gets really hard because the driver in the front needs to be driving his race in front of him, but I know that you've got the tendency to drive your mirrors, and that's here we go. Oh, no, just peeking up the side of him. But that's when the tendency to make an error happens, is because you're paying too much attention.
Well, yeah, all it takes is, you're looking at your mirror for one split second behind you, and boom, and then you go a little bit
Just
wide.
took the inside.
And next thing you know, you got somebody going by you. That's just now you got Simmons behind you. If you were worried behind, well, Bovenberg was behind you. If you have Simmons behind you, you better watch out because he's coming through. Now we're looking at it through
Kurt's.
no, this is Pete's car, Bovenberg's car, and as he's following the Mazda Speed 3 of the Valtiero Cabezas team. And this is going through turn 2. Pete goes a little bit wide to get a better launch out of this turn, and he's just on him. And this is like where you were talking about. I bet you this is where, right cresting this hill, he's just looking at his mirrors a little bit too much. And that's all it took for Pete to romp on it and get by. Look at that.
Just
boom,
launched
under
right
braking
past him.
and take the position away. Nice move by Pete.
Absolutely.
Now we'll get to see if Pete's, who it looked like he was faster, is he going to be able to pull away? And
That's true. Pull away from the Mazda and catch the Mazda.
and catch the other Mazda.
That's right.
Because Pete is looking pretty fast, but yeah, it's going to be tough to say. It's going to be very interesting what's going to happen now. But we'll keep our eyes on Pete because he looks like he's got the most action in his rearview mirror now. But see now.
Although look at.
Now, Ron, this is the horsepower of that Mazda. The Mazda's quick down the straightaway and easily takes him down the straightaway.
He took it away again, yes.
But see, the strength of the Honda is the tight stuff, like where we saw the past. Turn 3, turn 4, turn 5. In the tight stuff, the Hondas are really good. You get to the wide open straightaways, the Mazda's really good. That's the kind of the balancing factor in the series. So, you got to have your... you got to be careful where you are, but it's easier to pass down the straightaway, so...
It is.
So the Mazda makes a nice, easy move. Now you got another battle going on between Curt Simmons and track concierge BMW of Navid, who's also moving up pretty well.
He is. Quietly moving up through the pack of cars there.
He's one of those guys who, nobody's really paying attention to him, but one by one, he's going to climb up. And oh, man, look at that. Did you see that? You almost... that Mazda is...
A little twitchy.
You don't want to set up the car like that. Not only does it chew up your tires a lot and overheat the tires, but here comes Kurt. Trying to pass on the inside. Look at him. Alan Pete up front.
Almost lost his second position there.
Let's take a look behind.
Okay, Dobson coming through in first.
And look at that Pete, just way too much speed going in, but nice correction there to save it. He had spun out there, 3 cars would have T-boned them, and that would have been mayhem. Now from on board, we see the same thing.
They were close behind, just a little bit of dusting on the windshield.
Yeah, had he spun out there, boy, that would have been ugly. He would have taken out those 3 cars by himself. So,
as you said, the BMW.
The BMW is now running in second place, followed by Curt Simmons, who passed his boss, Kurt.
Followed by Pete.
So Pete went from, at one point he's charging for first. Now he's in fourth. Jeez.
So the car that started in the 6th position has just slowly climbed up through the ranks.
That's how things happen in here. Everybody's so close and so equal. If you make one little mistake, boy, you can go from first down to 6th or 10th or whatever. So you got to watch what you're doing.
Right. Now we're going to knock on wood a little bit. It looks like Kurt's car's going fine. We haven't had any mechanical issues
Kurt's
yet.
car's doing pretty well, but Pete doesn't. Pete's out there trying to pass Kurt because he's hungry. So we'll see. Here he goes on the last, and this is coming to the checkered flag right now. He looks really fast, and this is the last turn coming in to get the checkered flag. So if he wants to make a move, this is the time.
Outbraking.
He's gonna hit the Kurt. He's gonna.
Side by side. You can see his. Yeah.
How did he do
Who's
that?
out front? It looks like Pete got it. He's got that third position, right?
So now he's got third, and wow, that's awesome.
Excellent.
But wait, no, that's not third, because if you look in the pits, the BMW's.
You're right. I've jinxed it.
Problem.
I talked about mechanical.
Had a problem, and so on the last lap he has to pit. And
so what does this do? This
so
gives us
Pete
Dobson
went down to 4th or 5th or whatever it was, and now he's back to second
up to
again.
second. Well, that's racing for you.
Boy, that's.
And we've got the checkered flag for our team. Let's join everyone down at the podium.
Talk about an up and down race for Bovenberg.
Thanks for joining us. Tune in again next time when we'll bring you another exciting episode of Final Drive TV with the latest news from the world of cars. For more information and to view complete episodes, please visit us at finaldrive.net.